Welcome back, everyone. 13 after the hour. My God, I'm having a hell of a Monday today. It's 13 after the hour, and time for us to go behind the headlines where race, class, and marijuana arrests. We continue to see the disparity, the racism, and the volume of marijuana arrests in New York City, despite a new mayor. The new report comes out from the Marijuana Arrest Research Project, and this shows us that the New York Police Department, under Mayor deBlasio, made slightly more total marijuana possession arrests in March through August of 2014 than in the same 6 months in 2013 under Mayor Bloomberg. We move from Bloomberg to deBlasio, but the arrests stay the same. In the first 8 months of 2014, 86% of the people arrested for marijuana possession were blacks and Latinos, 10% were whites, and 4% were all others. The New York Police Department continues to arrest blacks at 7 times the rate of whites and Latinos at nearly 4 times the rate of whites. But young whites use marijuana at higher rates than young blacks and Latinos. Looking at these arrests, May through August, in all but one of those months, there were more arrests under Mayor deBlasio than under Mayor Bloomberg. In May of 2013, Mayor Bloomberg had 2,700 arrests. deBlasio had 2,600. But in every other month, there were more arrests month by month under Mayor deBlasio. And in previous, as is the case here in New York City, most of the cases of low-level marijuana arrests happen commonly when marijuana is found in someone's pocket after a frisk or a search, or in their backpacks when they're ordered by the police to empty their pockets or backpacks. And folks, if you don't know it, New York State is a decriminalized state. That's right, it's decriminalized. You can't get arrested for being in possession of an ounce or less of marijuana. So how are these people getting arrested? Simple. When the stop and frisk happens, or when the cop smells marijuana, he orders the kid to either empty his pockets or take the stuff out of the backpack. Most kids don't know they have a Fourth Amendment, and they just go ahead and comply with it, hoping that that'll be less trouble for them. And what they don't know is the minute that marijuana is seen in public view, it's now an arrestable misdemeanor. If they'd had just left it in their pocket, just left it in their backpack, and then the cop had to search and get it, it would have just been a ticket. But when they take it out voluntarily and show it in public, that's an arrestable misdemeanor. And this reprehensible stop and frisk practice has been brought to the attention of the NYPD and the prior mayor to show how it's being misused by the NYPD to target young black and Latino men. And they promised they'd do something about it. The last commissioner, Commissioner Kelly, said we need to stop all this stop and frisk and to leave these people alone, and yet it's still happening. Most of the people that are arrested for marijuana possession were under the age of 26. 56% of them under the age of 26. 29% of them were just teenagers. And 74%, almost 3 out of 4 of the people who are getting arrested for marijuana possession in New York City in 2014 have never been convicted of even a single misdemeanor. That's right. 3 out of the 4 people who are getting criminal records for marijuana in New York City, thanks to these stop and frisk practices, have no prior record whatsoever. They were going to go through their entire lives not being a criminal, not having a criminal record, but for getting caught with marijuana by the NYPD through a stop and frisk. That's almost 2,700 people per month in New York City over the past 6 months, actually March through August, that now have criminal records thanks to this stop and frisk practice. And people, we need to make sure everyone understands that this is a permanent, non-expungible criminal arrest record. And thanks to the internet, the next time one of these kids wants to go get a job, the employer can find it. Wants to rent a house, the landlord can find that. Wants to get a loan at a bank, credit agencies, they'll all look that up and they'll have that information. They want to get an occupational license of some sort, the Occupational Licensing Board will have that information. They want to go to school, the school will have that information. This is despicable and it needs to stop. And a very high-ranking New York politician said this about this, quote, Low-level marijuana possession arrests have disastrous consequences for individuals and their families. These arrests limit one's ability to qualify for student financial aid and undermine one's ability to find stable housing and good jobs. What's more, recent studies demonstrate clear racial bias in arrests for low-level possession. This policy is unjust and wrong. Now, who was the high-level New York official who said that? Mayor Bill deBlasio, as he was running for mayor in 2013, used the issue of the disproportionate racism and practices of stop-and-frisk to win election, and now hasn't done a damn thing about it. And make no mistake, this is all about being white and rich. If you want to smoke marijuana in New York City, it's damn near legal. Take a look at the arrest rate at the Upper East Side. The Upper East Side of Manhattan, facing the Central Park, the $1 million penthouses in Upper East Side. What's the rate of marijuana arrests there? 10 per 100,000. Now, take a look at East Harlem North. East Harlem North, a predominantly poor Black Latino area. What's the rate of arrest? 1,128 per 100,000.